Here are the 5 properties of parallelogram. The first one is, it says, in a parallelogram, any two opposite sides are congruent. So, this is the first pair of opposite sides. These two are congruent. And the other pair, these are congruent also. The second one is, in a parallelogram, any two opposite angles are congruent. So these are the opposite angles. Okay. And the other opposite angles, we have this. Okay. So these two angles are opposite and they are congruent. These two angles are opposite and they are congruent. The third one is this. In a parallelogram, consecutive angles are supplementary. When we say supplementary, the angles has a sum of 180 degrees. So this angle and this angle are consecutive angles. So these two angles which are consecutive are supplementary. In other words, the angles for this, the sum of the angles for this is 180 degrees. Okay. So we have also another consecutive angle or consecutive angles. So we have this angle and this angle are consecutive angles. Their sum is 180, so they are supplementary. And this angle plus this angle are supplementary angles. This angle and this angle are supplementary angles. Okay. So number 4 is, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Okay. So the diagonals, let's draw the diagonals. Okay. Okay. So you have these two diagonals, and it says that these diagonals bisect each other. In other words, this part, the first diagonal and the other part are equal. So this one also and the other one are equal. The fifth property of parallelogram is, it says, a diagonal of a parallelogram divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So let's have, for example, we have this diagonal. Okay. This diagonal will divide the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Meaning to say that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. So the corresponding parts are congruent. So this corresponds to this side. This side corresponds to this side. This side corresponds to itself. This angle corresponds to this angle. This angle corresponds to this angle. This angle corresponds to this angle. So there are two congruent triangles when there is a diagonal. That's it. I'm going to prove all these 5 properties of parallelogram and watch the next video. Thank you so much.